Right now, somewhere within 10 miles of you, a brand new pickup truck is rotting on a dealer lot. It has not moved in 4 months. The dealer is paying floor plan interest on it every single day. And the manufacturer already knows it is dead. They just have not told you yet. 10 trucks are officially dying or already dead. 2 more are losing pieces so critical they belong on this list as well. If you are shopping for a truck in 2026, this is not optional. The Nissan Titan, already gone. The Titan didn't die quietly. It was put down. Nissan ended production at the Canton plant in Mississippi in the summer of 2024. No fanfare, no final edition, no goodbye tour. They just turned the line off and walked away. If you see a Titan on a dealer lot right now, you are looking at old inventory, a truck that has been sitting there for over a year. Some of those units are averaging over 280 days on the lot. You could have started a small business, failed at it, and filed the paperwork in the time that Titan has been waiting for a buyer who is never coming. No successor announced. No electric replacement, no plan B. After 20 years of trying to compete with the big three, Nissan walked away from the full-size segment entirely. How does a company spend 2 decades failing at one product and keep building it? That question is worth sitting with, because the rest of this list answers it in different ways. The Nissan Frontier, same company, same ROT, different badge. The Frontier is technically still in production, but the sales curve does not show a truck with a future. The Tacoma moves over 100,000 units a year. The Frontier barely crossed 58,000 in 2025. That gap, over 40,000 trucks, is critical in a segment where volume determines whether you get engineering investment or get quietly erased. Nissan has not committed to a next-generation Frontier. Not a date, not a platform reveal, nothing. When a manufacturer will not say what comes next, that is the answer. The silence is the press release. The Ram Dakota. This one is a ghost story, and Ram keeps telling it on purpose. The Dakota died in 2011. Every few years, a trademark filing leaks or someone spots a prototype, and the internet loses its mind. Ram says nothing. Nothing happens. Here is the math they are avoiding. Entering the mid-size segment right now means building a new platform from scratch, retooling factories and spending billions to fight Toyota and Ford in a space where their customer loyalty borders on religious devotion. The Dakota is not coming back in any meaningful form. It is a name Ram keeps alive to distract you from asking harder questions about their actual lineup. A name without a truck is just marketing. The Chevy Colorado, first generation. The old Colorado is officially gone. General Motors replaced it with a completely redesigned generation in 2023. But here is what tells you everything about how that generation was received. In 2025, some dealers were still sitting on 2022 Colorados with 0 miles, at full sticker price. Not discounted, full price, on a 3-year-old truck, while the brand new version sat right next to it. When a buyer can choose the new model and a dealer still cannot move the old one at full sticker, the old model was never the priority. It was a placeholder while General Motors figured out what it actually wanted to build. The GMC Canyon. Same bones, worse math. Everything I just said about the Colorado, apply it here, then add $4,000 to $6,000 on top, because that is what you were paying over the Colorado for the exact same platform, the same engines, the same interior bones. The premium was the badge, and you figure that out right around the time you check your resale value 2 years later. The new Canyon is a genuinely better truck, but the old Canyon is the cleanest example of badge inflation I have seen in this segment. People paid a premium for a logo. The depreciation hit them like a wall. The Honda Ridgeline. I'll be straight with you here, and some people won't like it. The Ridgeline is technically a good vehicle, reliable, comfortable, and it handles better than any body-on-frame truck. It had a frunk before frunk was cool. If you need to carry lumber to a cabin once a year, it works fine, but its towing capacity sits around 5,000 pounds. That is not a truck number. That is a number you apologize for at a job site. Why doesn't anyone buy a Ridgeline if it's that capable? Because the truck market doesn't reward good. It rewards specific. And the Ridgeline's specific is a niche that's getting squeezed. From one side by real trucks that now ride better, and from the other by large SUVs that carry more people. In 2025, the Ridgeline moved around 36,000 units. The F-Series moved over 700,000 in the same period. That's not competition. That's a rounding error. The Jeep Gladiator. This one genuinely surprised me. The launch was something else. In 2019, dealers were marking Gladiators up $10,000 to $15,000 over sticker. People were paying it, waiting lists. Genuine hype, the kind you cannot manufacture. Fast forward to 2025. The average Gladiator was sitting on lots for 161 days. Markups disappeared. Incentives appeared, big ones. The magic ran out. Once the novelty faded, you start doing the real math. A short bed truck with off-road credentials and a price tag that touches $60,000 at upper trims, where a full-size truck gives you more of everything for the same money. Stellantis did not officially kill the Gladiator, but they quietly reduced production. The resale curve already told you what the market decided. This truck depreciated faster than any of its direct competitors after the second year. It was a great idea in 2019. In 2026, it is a great idea that ran out of things to say. The Ram Classic. Ram did something unusual. They kept selling the old body-style Ram alongside the new generation for years. They called it the Classic, and they used it as a price anchor, while the new generation pushed north of 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. It was a smart trick briefly, but the Classic is fully gone now. No ceremony. Nobody mourned it either, because the Classic was old bones in fleet sale disguise. Buyers who needed something cheap moved to used. Buyers who wanted the real thing moved to the new generation. It served its purpose and left quietly. That is more than most trucks on this list can say. The Ford Ranger, the truck Ford ate itself. Ford built a truck that competes with another Ford, and the cheaper Ford is winning. The Maverick launched in 2022 with a hybrid option, starting under $25,000. It sold out immediately. 6 to 8 month wait times. People were losing their minds over it. The Ranger starts at $35,000. It is too expensive to be cheap, and too small to be large. Ford's own numbers showed Maverick buyers were people who would have otherwise bought a Ranger. Ford ate its own market share and handed it to itself at a lower margin. The Ranger is not discontinued, but certain configurations, specific trim and cab combinations, are being quietly simplified out of existence. When your lineup cannibalizes itself, someone gets cut, and it is never the cheaper one. The Toyota Tundra, the forced bet. The Tundra is not dying, but Toyota forced a choice on buyers who were never asked. Toyota walked away from the V8 entirely and bet the entire Tundra on a twin-turbo V6 hybrid powertrain. That is a bold call in a segment that historically resists being told what it should want. The Tundra moved around 108,000 units in 2025. That was below its own historical average. The hybrid system had documented reliability issues in its first generation, with cooling problems and software glitches in the regenerative braking. Toyota loyalists bought it anyway. Conquest buyers, the ones switching from Ford or Ram, did not show up the way Toyota expected. The Tundra has a great reputation. It is dragging a powertrain that still needs to earn one. Until that gap closes, Toyota is fighting for buyers with one hand tied behind its back. Two trucks that are not dying, but losing pieces that matter. The F-150 and the Silverado are not going anywhere, but something inside them is disappearing. And if you are in the market right now, you need to know before you sign anything. The F-150 FEEP 8. For 2026, Ford pulled the 5.0 from the King Ranch and Platinum trims, two of the highest volume luxury configurations in the lineup. The V8 is still available on XL, STX, XLT, Lariat, and Tremor. But if you have watched this segment for a decade, you recognize the pattern exactly. First, the premium trims lose the option. Then it disappears from the mid-trims. Then one model year, it is just gone. The EcoBoost B6 family and the PowerBoost Hybrid are taking over the lineup one trim at a time, and Ford is not being subtle about the direction. The 5.0 in the F-150 has maybe 2 model years left before it becomes a memory you read about in forums. The Silverado work truck. GM has been eliminating entry-level Silverado trims. The base work truck has been stripped down to the point where fleet buyers who depended on it are shopping elsewhere. GM is chasing margin, not volume, investing everything in the high country, the ZR2, the trims that move the needle on profit per unit. If you are a contractor who needs a simple, capable, no-nonsense work truck at a price that makes sense, the Silverado lineup no longer serves you. That contractor is buying used, or buying foreign. GM made a deliberate choice that looks great on a quarterly call, and feels different when you are the buyer left standing outside. The pattern is the same every time. The middle collapses first. Trucks too small to haul, too expensive to be the budget option, too similar to justify their existence against what already dominates. They go first, every cycle. The survivors are the ones that can answer one clean question. Why you and not the F-150? Nissan never had a real answer. Honda answered it wrong. Jeep answered it brilliantly for 3 years, and then ran out of things to say. The truck market is not dying. It is being sorted. The list worth buying is getting shorter every model year. So tell me in the comments which truck on this list did you own, almost buy, or watch someone else regret? And which one do you think I am wrong about?